My name is Chung. I'm from Regina, Saskatchewan. Graduated from university, from the Faculty of Education at the U of R. And I'm a past participant, an alumni, a project supervisor, and now the Alumni and Volunteers Coordinator for Canada World Youth. My involvement with Canada World Youth started in 2008. I signed up as a volunteer, as a participant for a 6-month experience with Canada World Youth. So I spent 3 months in Honduras, in a town called Gracias, and 3 months in a small rural town in Ontario called Brechin. Then the next year, I actually applied to be a project supervisor, and I supervised the Nicaragua-Saskatchewan programs the next year, and for 2 years. The Canada World Youth experience is really about working in partnerships. No matter what we were doing physically, it was always working with someone else very intimately, very closely, and building relationships. So we spent 3 months in Honduras. My work placement was actually, I worked at a school, and my partner and I taught English classes to kids aged basically from kindergarten to grade 12. And I think I realized a lot of the privileges that I have as a Canadian, and especially as a Canadian educator. Since that was my background, it was nice to see the difference. It really helped me to understand, to gain some more perspective of the world. In the Canadian phase in Brechin, I worked part of the time on the farm where I lived. We lived with host families, so most of our host families were actually farm families, since it was really a very rural farm community. I had a little project where I worked with a 2-year-old girl who she had been born with her hips displaced, and so as a result she was still just learning how to walk, just learning how to speak and those kinds of things. So I helped work with her, and actually I visited, I went back to Brechin about a year after my program ended, and I visited, and she was running around the house, so her parents were very excited, and it was, that was kind of like a moment where I saw the direct consequence, or the direct impacts that I had as a person. The skills that you gain from Canada World Youth are skills that can be used anywhere. So things like taking initiative, gaining some emotional intelligence, and gaining kind of awareness of the impacts of your own actions, express yourself and get your point across, and also how to listen to others. We're in a society where we often talk and talk and talk, but we don't listen that much. So I think these are all skills that, when you take them to the business world or you take them to professional kind of atmospheres, they're skills that help youth to really achieve results. I'm more focused on relationships, on building relationships, and building relationships out of respect, not because I want something from the other person. And I think that it's really helped me to refocus, because before the program I had done university right from high school, and got a job as a teacher, and I could have spent 30 years as a teacher. But now I think I'm more, it's really opened up it's opened up the opportunities that I see. I have a higher interest now in working with NGOs, with groups that talk about themes of equity, of health, of environment. I think Canada World Youth does a very good job of focusing in on some of the key issues, and some of the key areas where we need to focus on as a society, and where we need to develop our youth to take those leadership positions. It's a very powerful program, I think, because it empowers youth. It gives youth the ability to work on things, to organize and plan our own projects, and then to really share that with the community.